Hey guys, so I got a comment from one of my YouTube buddies, Nathan, and he wrote me recently, can you do a video on tips for songwriting? And yes, I would love to do that, so I want to share some tips today with you guys on writing a song that have been very valuable to me. This video is going to be real easygoing, no edits, no cuts, just you and I hanging out, so grab your drink of choice. I've got my water, and let's talk songwriting. So, writing a song. This is a subject near and dear to my heart because in all the things I do musically, there's nothing more rewarding for me than writing a song. I love just taking something, creating it, and sharing a piece of who I am, sharing a moment, a slice of life, if you will, and having other people actually get it and understand it. And that's what songwriting, I believe, in my humble opinion, is all about. It's about conveying an idea and having everyone understand it, feel what you were feeling. Whether that's a feeling of excitement or sadness or whatever, you want them to get it, and we're all sharing this great big human experience. And there's some little key tips and tricks that will help you become a better songwriter. Again, these are things that I've just picked up over the years, a lot of trial and error. I've been to a ton of songwriting seminars, and I've read a ton of books, and I've written a ton of songs, which, let me add, is probably your greatest teacher of all. You need to be writing all the time. If you really want to write songs that connect with people, you want to write all the time, because you're going to write a lot of bad songs. Even the great songwriters of our day and age, they write bad songs. I mean, the more you write, the more you're going to get those handful of tunes that are just really strong and really connect. So, tip number one, the big idea. What is the big idea or the feeling behind your song? A lot of times we start off as songwriters and we're just, I'm gonna write a song, you know, and we don't really have that feeling. And what you need is an idea or a feeling that's so powerful that it literally launches you into writing a song. And I know you know what I'm talking about, because a lot of times people will say, well, I sat down to write and just, I don't know, just nothing came to me. And what that tells me is that you probably didn't have a really great idea that you were passionate about. And so what you want to do is find a feeling. You want to take a little photograph of your life or whatever it is. You want to take a feeling that's so strong and powerful. And I'll give you an example. I remember when I was in high school, I did a lot of drama and theater. There was this girl I had this massive crush on, massive crush. And I just liked her forever. And I remember the last night of the show that we did, she came up to me and gave me this great big hug and said, I can't wait to see you tonight at the after party or whatever they called it, cast party, where there was a dance and all this. So I was like, oh my God, she's finally coming around. She's finally digging me. And I got all jazzed about that, and I was like, yeah, tonight's the night. I'm gonna get to dance with her. I'm gonna get to talk. We're gonna connect. It's gonna be great. Well, I get to this party, and right when I walk in the door, she's just all over this other guy. Just all over him. And I was like, man, I was just devastated because I had liked her for so long, and then this other guy just waltzed right in, and she basically ignored me the whole night. And I remember driving home, I remember driving in my car, I remember it like it was yesterday, and I was so, you know, I'd been rejected, I just felt so disgusted, and I felt like I was better than what had happened to me, and all of those things, you know, that we've all been through. And that feeling was so strong, that feeling of being heartbroken and having my hopes let down, if you will. And that's a song. That's a song right there. I mean, that was a moment that was strong. And I didn't write a song about it back then, but if I think about it right now, and I could write a song about that moment because that was powerful. You get what I'm saying? You need a powerful moment. Not, you know, I was at the store today and I bought a candy bar and it was a happy day and okay, that's great, but that's not a moment. That's not a powerful, passionate moment. You want a powerful, passionate moment. That's where you want to start your song. That's what you need. That's your big idea. So find something, and even if it's not something in your own life, make something up, but as long as it's a real feeling. Like say you see a movie. You know, I'm a Star Wars nerd. Say you go see a Star Wars movie or whatever it is for you, and there's a scene that just impacts you. It touches you. It speaks to you. Well, you want to grab that scene and you say, okay, what's that feeling for me? What does that mean to me? And then there's your song. And you want to focus on that one idea. A lot of songwriters make a big mistake of their songs are all over the place. There's like 8 different ideas in the song. You want to take one idea, one feeling. What's the feeling? What is the feeling? And just everything needs to be around that. So really ask yourself. A lot of times I'll sit down and I'll freestyle. Like I'll just grab a a pen and paper, and I'll say, what does this moment or this feeling make me think of? And I'll write down whatever comes to mind. I won't edit. Just it makes me feel like this. It makes me feel like this. It makes me think of this. And in that you'll get a lot of ideas for a really fun song. So before you do anything, once again, recap. Start with a big idea. Grab a great big feeling and roll with it from there. And you'll be surprised at how many ideas you'll get. You won't have writer's block when you have a great idea. The ideas will just be like, whoa, coming to you. So number 2, have a great title. Now this really ties in with number 1, which is if you have a great idea, you're gonna have a great title that's gonna encompass that idea. It's gonna go. They're going to go hand in hand. And I'm going to use, since I don't have the copyright clearance to use popular songs that you know as examples, so I'm going to use a song that I wrote that I'm pretty proud of, Candace Wore Her Converse, and I'll link it. I link the SoundCloud link below. This is one that I'm very pleased with. I tried to think what song could I use as an example. And this is certainly one that I worked a lot of, put a lot of hours into, and I'm pleased with the outcome because it communicates what I wanted to have communicated, and people definitely have responded to it. And so that's, what else could you ask for? So Candace Wore Her Converse, and this ties in again with the big idea and everything. I could have said, okay, kind of like when people say, I'm in love, I want to write a song about love. What are you going to say? I'm in love and I'm feeling great and oh, I'm happy, and okay, that's all great, but that's not really a song. There's not really an angle there. So you want to have an idea and a title that look at things from a different point of view, if you will. So with me, I had this actual memory of back in high school, there was I need a drink. I'm getting a shade parched. Take a drink if you're with me here. There you go, whatever it is for you. Anyway, I had, there was this girl that I remember I went to a homecoming dance. And very formal, everyone's all dressed up in their tuxes and everything. And I remember the dance floor, it was like early on in the dance. Nobody was really dancing. It was one of those kind of lame things where everyone's standing around watching each other and too embarrassed to go out on the floor or whatever. There was a few people dancing, couples, that had been together for like a couple of years and real comfortable. And the rest of us are standing around. And I remember this girl just comes like blazing onto the dance floor, and she had a formal dress on, but she had these crazy Converse that were like custom. They had like all these wild colors on them, and they were like these weird, crazy Converse. And it was just at odds with her formal dress. But she went out on the dance floor by herself, and later I found out she didn't have a date. She wasn't there with anybody. And she just started going nuts and dancing and she was oblivious to the world. I mean, it was like she just didn't care what anybody thought. And I remember that really hit me because here I was so self-conscious, so worried about, ooh, I don't want to get out there and look like an idiot and, or what will people think? And really, I'm just, I'm really sitting there feeling the music going, man, it'd just be great to dance right now. And here this girl did everything that I wanted to do, which was just get out there and love life, dance, didn't care who was watching, didn't care, and her shoes said it all for me. I was like, this girl is just grabbing life by the horns and saying, I'm living it and I don't care what you people think. And it was just it was like such a bold statement. Everything, the shoes, the action of going out there and dancing. So I thought, man, that's such a great song. Because some of the things I went through in my own journey, I overcame a lot of that myself, where I'm at the point now where I just don't care what people think. I hope people like me, but if they don't, it's not gonna wreck my world. So, I did a lot of work to get to that point where I'm like, yeah, I really want to just live life on my own terms and buck the system, if you will. And I thought the best example of that was this girl, and I thought, well, that's a great song. So, yeah, got like a hair. Hold on. Okay, I'm good. Anyway, I went over to somebody's house today and they have cats, and it was like, there's like a cat hair. So I thought, well, how could I put that into a song? You know, how could I put that feeling? The feeling for me was, you know, bucking the system and being who I am, being true to me. And so I thought about this girl, and I thought, well, that's it. That girl represents the whole idea that I want for this song. So I came up with the title, Candace Wore Her Converse. Candace wore her Converse to the prom. And the chorus is, you know, they laugh as she begins to sway. The music takes her far away. She sticks out like sunglasses in the rain. They look at her and say, hey, what went wrong? But she's too busy dancing to respond. The music play, but she sings her own song. Candace wore her Converse to the prom. That says it all for me. That's what I wanted to say. And again, I put it in a way, I could have wrote a song called I'm Overcoming My Past. You know, I'm pushing forward and I'm being true to me. But that's boring. That's a boring title. And would you rather hear a song called I'm Being True to Me, or would you rather hear a song called Candace Wore Her Converse to the Prom? Again, I'm not tooting my own horn here or anything. I'm just using my song as an example because I can't use any other copyrighted material. But the reality is one title is far more interesting because it evokes images and you're like, what's that about, you know? So pick a great title to go with your great idea, something that really says what the song is all about, okay? So number 3, go from something to something. This is huge because a lot of times we kind of meander lyrically when we write a song. Your song wants to start off somewhere and it needs to end somewhere. You know, this was a hard one for me to get when I first started writing because I'd run out of room. And it's like, so you really want to, again, we'll use Candace as an example, but I start off, the opening verse is Candace shows up to her senior prom, black Converse beneath her snow white gown. No boyfriend to hold her by the arm, she steps onto the dance floor all alone. So I've set the stage. Here she is, here's this girl, she shows up, she's got a white dress on and Converse, and she's got no boyfriend and she's out there by herself. So we set up the story. And then you want it to go somewhere from there, which ties in, I'll just move right into point number 4, which is verse 2. Verse 2 needs to say something different. You don't want to say what you've already said in verse 1. You want to advance the story. You want to provide new information in verse 2, if that makes sense. So whatever your song is about, verse 1 needs to start it off and then leads to that chorus. And then coming out of that chorus into verse 2, you need to say something new, or you need to add information that advances the story ever so slightly if you can. My verse 2 is very simple. It's 2 lines. She plays tuba in the marching band. She's proud to be the only girl who can. So now we've learned something new about Candace. She's a tuba player. She's a tuba nerd. And she's proud of the fact that she's you know, doing something that, whatever, other people don't do. Or other girls don't do. So it tells us a little bit more about her. It's not anything big or huge, but it's just, it advances a story. If I would have said in verse 2, yeah, Candace is still out dancing on the dance floor and she's, you know, it's like, okay, we're kind of already heard that. We already know that. So you want to, again, add some piece of new information. Same thing if you're going to add a bridge in your song after your second chorus, if you go into a bridge. Give us some new information. Give us something that we haven't heard yet that adds to the story. That's the whole idea. Even if it's just a basic, even if you're not writing a song that's necessarily a story, even if you're writing just some sort of, you know, I don't know, there's like some club dance songs are about just basic stuff, hanging out in a club and dancing and partying. But you can still say something new. You don't want to be redundant and you don't want to say something you've already said. That's a waste of a bridge. Or have the bridge do something different musically. Have it go someplace unexpected. That's a way to keep your songs interesting. Hope these are helping, guys. And point number 5 is heart. And if your song has heart, if you have a real idea, if you have a real feeling behind your song, then even if you're making a lot of mistakes lyrically, whatever, structurally, you know, I want to show you guys something. Oh, I put the books up there. Hold on. So, yeah, if your song has heart, it's going to cover a lot of errors because people respond to something real, they respond to passion. And so if your song has a very real idea that they can relate to, that you really feel yourself and you're trying to get across, then you've got the most magical ingredient that any song needs, and that's heart and passion and truth. So always come from that place when you're writing. Always come from that place. Test it in your own heart and say, is this really how I feel? Is this really what I want to get across? And I brought some books. Hold on, guys. I gotta grab them. I brought 3 books I want to recommend to you guys. And these are just ideas for you. So, number 1, this is kind of a starter. If you've ever heard of this book, The Billboard Guide to Writing and Producing Songs That Sell. This is a great book, not only for songwriters, but if you produce music, it gives you a lot of cool ideas. But check out this book. This is a great kind of starter book for, especially if you're trying to write for today's market, radio and that kind of thing. Great book on how to communicate to the masses. So check out that book. My next suggestion, this is 6 Steps to Songwriting Success. This is written by a guy named Jason Bloom. I actually met Jason in Nashville at one of his songwriting seminars. A cool guy. And this is a great starter, like if you're just learning how to write songs, or you feel you're at kind of a basic level. This is a great book that it spells it all out very simply, and it doesn't talk over your head like some of these books do, where you're like, what? This just lays it all out very simply, very easily, and it covers everything. And it's probably I would probably recommend this book above all, to be honest. This is great, great book. Now, one of the things I really didn't talk too much about is actual lyric writing and how to write great lyrics. And I'll recommend this book in a second, but let me add that writing a great lyric, I'm really parched. Sorry guys, I got back from the gym a little while ago and I'm quite bloody dehydrated. So The Craft of Lyric Writing is a book I'm going to recommend, but I'll tell you about that in a second. Lyrics, you want to be very conversational in your lyrics. You want to talk how you would talk. You don't want to use words that you wouldn't use. The listener will grab it and they'll know that it rings false. So you got to talk like you would talk. You want to say things how you would say them, and listen to great songs. Listen to songs and listen to how they use words, and you'll get tons of ideas. But this book, The Craft of Lyric Writing by Sheila Davis. This is the 3rd and final book I would recommend personally. Now this is a deep cut. This is when you've read the basics and you're ready for something a lot deeper, because I won't lie, this book will give you a headache at times. It is so detailed and it gets into so many different possibilities in terms of lyric writing, and it really covers the craft of lyric writing, thus the title. But man, it's I think even for advanced writers, she just digs so deep with stuff. But there's some great information in there. Again, don't start with that book. It'll just give you a headache. Wait till you read something more basic, get a little momentum going with your writing, and then check out that book, and it'll tackle some of the specifics of lyric crafting. And it is great. I'm just giving you a forewarning, because I started with that book years ago when I first started, and it almost made me want to give up songwriting. It was just too bloody complicated, but good stuff. And you will enjoy it later on down the road. Again, I don't know what your level you're at. I'm gearing this more, I'm assuming that whoever is watching this is at more of a base level, and you're wanting to start writing, or you've been doing some writing, but you're more of a dabbler and you haven't really jumped in. So that's it, guys. I would close with this, and I said it earlier, but you want to the best teacher in anything in life, whether you're a songwriter, a music producer, you play an instrument, you want to write a script, you want to write a book, whatever it is, you need to be doing it like every day. You need to write all the time. Write songs, because you want to write those bad songs. You're going to learn from your songs, and who knows, maybe you'll have great songs right off the bat, but either way, you're going to learn from your mistakes. You're going to learn from those songs. You're going to get feedback. That's what's great about the internet. Put your work out there. Don't be afraid of people saying that you suck, or this sucks, or they don't like what you do. Good, whatever. Half the time it's just people trying to get your goat anyway, but the other half of the time there's some constructive criticism there. There's things to learn, because you want to see if people get what you're doing. Again, songwriting is all about communication. Do people understand what you're saying? Are they getting it, or are they left puzzled, like, I don't know what he's talking about, she's talking about. So, write. And I promise you, you'll get better. And check out some of the books I mentioned, or any books out there that tackle songwriting. Just get a feel for the structure of a song. Listen to as many songs as you can, but listen with that second ear. Go back and listen and say, why does this hit me like it does? Why does this matter? Why does this lyric mean so much to me? Or what are they doing here? What are they doing in the verse and the chorus? And when you kind of break it, you know, pull it apart like that, you start to see what's going on. You start to get ideas for your own songs. So there you go. And this was a timely video because I've been writing like a madman lately, and I can't wait to unleash some new songs on you guys. So I hope this has been helpful, and we'll do more of these. Let me know if you want to do any other kind of musical tutorial vids. If there's anything you feel I could share with you all that would be helpful, let me know, and I will do so. All right, I'll see you guys soon. Remember, videos every Tuesday and Friday. And a lot of new music is on the way. Talk soon. Bye.